Radio KAIR, 21st Century Streaming Radio.
Thanks for listening
to Radio KAIR.
Stand by for East Texas Talk. Coming right up. Today on East Texas Talk, we're visiting with Mr. Philippe Cras, who is the president of the Community Response Task Force, and Lynn Cheney, who is the board member. Welcome, both of y'all, to East Texas Talk.
Well, thank you, Bob. Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I'm so glad y'all came and that we're visiting about CRTF. CRTF, as you know, is near and dear to me, and I think it's something that we really need in our community. So let's start right out. Lynn, tell us a little bit about CRTF.
CRTF is a very important part of the community, as you've said. It helps bring individuals together, companies together. The biggest thing I've seen since I've been a member of it, and now a board member, is where there is a need and it's brought to us, we can find a solution. Mm-hmm. So that is so important in time of disaster or in time of any kind of critical event, where if you have a need, you know one place that you can call immediately and we can get it out to hundreds.
That's correct. So CRTF obviously means Community Resource Task Force. Tell us, Philippe, a little bit more about that. What is the Community Resource Task Force?
Well, it is a community effort, a grassroots organization. Mm-hmm. We got started after Rita and Katrina, mm-hmm. and me as a local business owner, I saw firsthand the need for connecting the problems with the solutions and at a local level. So the organization was created by the community for the community, connecting exactly that, making it more efficient to get solutions out to where the problems are.
So basically, I'm guessing, in the event of a catastrophe of some sort, it's a place where people can get information to get resources. Is that correct? So, in other words, you yourself don't have cots or generators or food or water, but you have the resource to tell people where to get, or the information to tell the people where to get this.
That's exactly right. If we get communicated an issue, that's a one-stop shop, so to speak. Go to CRTF, crtf.org, give us a call, then we get the need out to our partners. And in the partnership, we have medical, education, government, and citizens. Mm-hmm. And it's an efficient way to get a response back to the community as soon as possible and not have to wait through, for the red tape and everything else to happen. Right.
Okay, so that makes sense. So, Lynn, give me some examples of what CRTF would be able to respond to.
Well, for example, with a flood, there were many people who didn't have a place to go to. They didn't have clothing. They didn't have food. They didn't have cleaning supplies. So we had different locations where it was already set up, where if you want cleaning supplies, you could go to location A. Mm-hmm. If you wanted food, you could go over here. So in that way, they would know automatically, I need this, I can go over here. And we could also send the information out to places and say, we're short on food. We need help. So if you can bring it, we need it at this location. Some of them didn't have, they had the food, but they didn't have the means to get it and transport it. So then we had other people who would be willing to transport it.
Sure. The logistics of it, right? It's very important. How do you get it from A to B, or location A to location B, and who's going to do it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's part of the putting the resources together. So you're not only finding where the food is, you're getting the volunteers to be able to transport this food or whatever the need is to help out. All right, so Philippe, tell me a little bit about your partnerships that you have with other, what would you call it, clubs and associations. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, we like to call them partners, not members, because it is an emergency management. You are partners
Right.
when something happens. So in the partnership, we have medical, the churches, civic organizations, government, etc. We consider ourselves a catalyst a little bit, a force multiplier. Make each other better at what we're doing.
I like that, a force multiplier.
Force multiplier,
That's
yeah.
that's
I like it
that's a
too.
great term. Yeah, that's good. So, and I'm sorry to interrupt you on that, but it's how to make your organization better
Right.
through the help of others.
Well, helping the partners being better at what they do.
Right.
When CRTF first started, some 20 years ago now, and unbelievable, the individual partners weren't as organized, trained in the area of emergency management as they are now. And I think CRTF, by offering that platform, has helped with that growth. The people have met each other, organizations have met each other, we have monthly meetings. So they got a face with the place, so to speak, and they would share experiences. We do it this way, maybe you can do it that way, or here's a suggestion. So we saw a lot of growth within the individual partners, even to the point where yes, you have to question yourself, what is our role? We had to redefine ourselves because of this growth. And, the question is, are we duplicating? Or what is it as an organization that we do that's not already done out there by the partners? Well, we're only as good as our partners are. So the better
Right.
the partners are, the better we get.
Right.
The more we can help the community with that quality of emergency management, which is getting better by the day. So our role is indeed that force multiplier. We help them be better. We help them be aware of each other. They can
That's so true.
complement each other.
Yeah, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that force multiplier. Makes sense. So, what's the difference between CERT, CERT, and CRTF?
All right, I'm happy you asked that question because we get asked that a lot. And it is basically very simple, if I can put it that way. CERT is boots on the ground. They are a big, big part of our partnership. They are a partner with our organization. CRTF is there to help them, and they are there to help the other partners as well. They're really, truly boots on the ground. Whenever one of our partners needs volunteers, that would be a big resource for us to get to the qualified people, the people that have been trained.
So they're a group of volunteers that, like you said, they're boots on the ground. So their whole job is to volunteer for different functions.
For different types of emergencies,
right.
yeah. And people with CERT have been trained and are indeed an incredible source,
Yes.
be it at the site, CPR, or at the pods, distribution centers, helping us with that, or even ham radio people.
Yeah. So and ham radio, they're part of CRTF.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
The ham radio people really are, because in times when all communication fails, they're very important.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
And they love being a part of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Lynn and I were talking. I think we're gonna partner up and get our ham license and become hammies or whatever they call each other. So
That's right.
that's
I
right.
heard that.
Yeah, right. So Lynn, tell me a little bit about speaking of communications and all of that. How can people find out about CRTF? You have a website and
they can go to our website, crtf.org. On the website, it gives them a lot of information about our meetings, our upcoming speakers. For example, our next meeting will be on August 14th. It's from 1 to 2. Our speaker is going to be Chief Cook, and he will be speaking about how the Humble ISD Police Department can help the children stay safe, the educators, everyone that is there on the premises. And it's very challenging right now, especially with the virus that we have. But they want to show how they play into the everyday. Here we are. We're here to help.
Right.
That's going to be held at the Atascocita. Not the Atascocita Fire Department, at the Rosewood Funeral Home. The Fields family has generously allowed us to meet there until we can get back to our home base, which is the Atascocita Fire Department. So all of that information is on the website. There's also information about, pertinent information about things that are going on. That's in our news area. There's other tabs where there are links, for example, how to prepare for hurricanes or hot weather, or there is a whole resource right there at your fingertips that you can get to on our website.
Oh, I like that. I think I'm going to take a look at that. Maybe I can put that on our weather reports and stuff. So CRTF.org is
Yes.
your website, and it's www.crtf.org. Okay, and the phone number is?
The phone number is 281-446-4928.
Very good. So one more time, please.
All right.
I'm sorry.
281-446-4928.
4928. Okay, 281-446-4928. And that's, you call, you can get a hold of, I guess, Philippe, that'll be talking to you.
That would be the Atascocita Fire Department, which they would then communicate with one of the board members first, and we would take it from there.
And pass the
Absolutely,
message on.
yeah.
Okay.
And they have
very
our
good.
cell numbers, so we're reachable always.
Okay. Now, you guys y'all really tied in with the Atascocita Fire Department here the last few years. They've kind of taken you under their wing, I think.
You think?
I don't know. Be honest with you, I haven't attended a meeting in a couple of years. But
All right.
so tell me a little bit about the relationship there.
Well, they're our mother and father, so to speak.
Okay.
We our organization lives there, under their roof. We couldn't do it without them. They let us use, pre-COVID they did anyway, let us use their auditorium, which is it's a beautiful facility. And we meet there once a month, not for now. We'll see when we can get back in after COVID. They are a resource for us. In turn, we do help them as well, we would hope, we think, we know. They are a wonderful platform because they give us access to lots of resources and also quality speakers. They give our organization more credibility than we already have.
Sure. And Atascocita Fire Department is a fine organization itself,
Yeah.
made up of a great group of volunteers, really is. All right, so CRTF, Community Resource Task Force, been around since 2005, thereabouts.
Thereabouts.
The force multiplier of the community, the hub of the community when it comes to emergency services. Just really, I think, you guys have come a long, long ways. As we were speaking off the mic earlier, a lot of big plans in the future on trying to bring this together even better. And I look forward to that. And I think what you're doing is a wonderful thing for the community. I really think it is.
Well, thank you, Bob. It is the way emergency work needs to be done.
Yeah.
Every community should have a community task response force.
Yeah.
It grew out of that natural need, which every community has it. And,
Right, sure.
it's a community response. It's for the community. And if anybody out there thinks that they cannot help, they need to think about that again.
Absolutely.
Everybody, every citizen can help, and every citizen at one point is going to need help. It's not if, it's when.
Right. And you're always looking for volunteers, right?
Absolutely.
So-
and, so our future, our hope for the future is to make the partnership even bigger, attract even the local businesses that at first sight don't think they have anything to offer. Well, think again. Or any individual that thinks they can contribute. Yes, they can. Just let us do it in a structured way. Let us be that force catalyst, that force multiplier.
Right.
And that's what CRTF offers. That's our genes. That's our DNA.
Yeah, I like that.
You like
It's
DNA?
It's your DNA. So the next meeting is when, Lynn?
It's August 14th from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. It's always the second Friday of every month.
Second Friday of every month. And this coming month, it's going to be where?
It will be at Rosewood Funeral Home, the Atascocita location, and the Fields family. We want to give them a special thanks
Right.
because they have opened it up for us. And we are also recording it now. So there are many people, due to the virus, they don't feel comfortable coming, so they can listen to it from the comfort of their home.
Or the comfort of their home. That's great. I encourage individuals, and I think that it's important because a lot of people that are in CERT or CRTF started out as just individuals.
Right.
Organizations and companies should all get involved in this. I think it's very important for the community, helps in the response in the event of a catastrophe. And as you said, a force multiplier. I love that. Thank you so much for coming on East Texas Talk. I think you've done a great service for our community, and I look forward to the future and what you guys are going to do. So one more time, Lynn, what's the website?
It's www.crtf.org.
www.crtf.org. And Philippe, phone number?
Oh my God! I knew you were going to ask that.
It's 281-446.
446-4928.
4928.
Hope I did that
281-446-4928. Great. Put him on the spot. All right. Well, thank you both for coming to East Texas Talk. I look forward to having you back. I think we can, it's something we can talk about often, and you're always welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And that's
Thank
a
you,
wrap.
Bob.
You've been listening to East Texas Talk, brought to you by Radio KAIR.
You are listening to Radio KAIR. Radio KAIR. Broadcasting from historic downtown Humble, Texas.